We all use our smartphones for everything these days, right? Calling, texting, scrolling through social media, even paying for stuff. But did you know you might be able to mine Bitcoin on that thing too? It sounds crazy, but it's becoming more of a thing. Now, before you start imagining your phone spitting out Bitcoins, let's get real for a second. It's not like the old days when anyone could mine a ton of Bitcoin with their laptop. The game has changed. Mining Bitcoin is a lot more complicated now, and it needs serious computing power. But that doesn't mean your phone is useless. There are ways to make it work for you in the world of Bitcoin. Think of it like this. Your phone is like a tiny miner compared to the giant mining farms out there. It can still get in on the action, even if it's not striking gold every second. In this guide, we're going to break down everything you need to know about mining Bitcoin on your phone. We'll cover what it is, how to do it on both iPhone and Android, and what to expect realistically. Let's get into it. Okay, so you've heard the buzzword Bitcoin mining, but what does it actually mean? Imagine a giant digital ledger floating in the cloud. This ledger keeps track of every Bitcoin transaction ever made. That's the Bitcoin blockchain. Miners are like the accountants of this ledger. They use powerful computers to solve complex math problems. These problems are designed to be tough and take a lot of processing power. The first miner to solve the problem gets to add the next block of transactions to the blockchain. This is how new Bitcoins are created and released into circulation. Think of it as a reward for the miners' hard work in keeping the blockchain secure and up to date. But here's the thing. As more miners join the network, the math problems get harder. This is to keep the rate of new Bitcoin creation under control. That's why it's tough for individual miners with regular computers, let alone smartphones, to compete. But don't worry, there are still ways to participate. We'll explore those next. Let's be upfront. Mining directly on your iPhone isn't really a thing. Apple's iOS is a closed ecosystem, which means they're pretty strict about what apps are allowed to do. They don't want apps hogging your phone's resources and draining your battery with intense tasks like mining. But that doesn't mean you're completely out of luck. You can still get involved in Bitcoin mining on your iPhone using a couple of workarounds. First, cloud mining. This is like renting mining power from a company that has massive mining farms. You basically pay them a fee, and they'll mine Bitcoin on your behalf. It's less profitable than mining directly, but it's much easier and doesn't drain your phone's battery. There are some cloud mining apps available on the App Store, but do your research and choose reputable ones. Second, Bitcoin mining pools. Remember those giant mining farms? You can join a pool of miners who combine their computing power to increase their chances of solving those complex math problems. It's like teamwork for Bitcoin. There are apps that let you connect your iPhone to mining pools, but again, be careful and pick ones with good reviews. Mining Bitcoin on your Samsung phone. Android is a bit more flexible than iOS when it comes to mining. You have more options, but it's still important to be cautious. First, let's talk about mining apps. There are a handful of Bitcoin mining apps available on the Google Play Store. However, be warned, many of these apps are scams or don't really do anything. They might be packed with ads or even try to steal your information. Always stick to reputable apps with good ratings and reviews. Next up, mining pools. Just like with iPhones, you can join a mining pool through apps on your Samsung phone. This allows you to contribute your phone's processing power to a larger group of miners, increasing your chances of earning some Bitcoin. And finally, external hardware. This is where things get interesting. You can actually connect your Samsung phone to external mining hardware, like an ASIC miner, through a USB cable. This way, your phone acts as a controller for the external hardware, which does the heavy lifting of mining. However, this method requires technical know-how and a significant investment in hardware. The limits and risks of mobile mining. Now, before you get too excited about mining Bitcoin on your phone, let's talk about the limitations and risks involved. First, processing power. Your smartphone is powerful, but it's nowhere near as powerful as the specialized hardware used in large-scale mining operations. Mining is a resource-intensive process, and your phone's CPU and battery weren't designed for that kind of workload. Second, battery drain. Mining can drain your phone's battery incredibly fast. Imagine your phone getting burning hot and running out of juice in minutes. Not ideal, right? Third, heat damage. The intense processing required for mining generates a lot of heat. This can potentially damage your phone's internal components, especially if you're mining for extended periods. Fourth, profitability. Given the limitations of smartphone hardware and the competitive nature of Bitcoin mining, it's highly unlikely that you'll make any significant profit from mining on your phone. You might earn a few Satoshis, the smallest unit of Bitcoin, but it's probably not worth the potential risks to your device. And finally, security risks. Be very careful when downloading mining apps or joining mining pools. There are a lot of scams and malicious apps out there that could steal your personal information or infect your phone with malware. Benefits and downsides you should know. Let's weigh the pros and cons of smartphone Bitcoin mining. Benefits first, accessibility. You can potentially get involved in Bitcoin mining without needing to invest in expensive hardware. Second, ease of use. Some cloud mining apps and mining pool apps are designed to be user-friendly, even for beginners. And third, learning experience. It can be an interesting way to learn about Bitcoin, blockchain technology, and the concept of mining. Downsides, first, low profitability. The chances of making any significant profit from smartphone mining are slim to none. Second, device strain. Mining can severely drain your phone's battery, generate excessive heat, and potentially damage your device. Third, security risks. There are many scams and malicious apps in the mobile mining space, so it's crucial to be extremely cautious. And finally, limited control. When you join a mining pool or use a cloud mining service, you're essentially trusting a third party with your resources. Is it worth it? So, the big question is, should you mine Bitcoin on your phone? The short answer is, it's probably not worth it for most people. The limitations of smartphone hardware, the risks of device damage and security threats, and the low profitability make it a questionable endeavor. You're unlikely to make any real money, and you could end up harming your phone in the process. However, if you're curious about Bitcoin mining and want to dip your toes into the water without investing in expensive hardware, exploring reputable cloud mining apps or joining a well-established mining pool could be an option. Just be sure to do your research, proceed with caution, and don't expect to get rich quick. The world of Bitcoin is constantly evolving, and who knows what the future holds for mobile mining. Perhaps as smartphone technology advances, we'll see more efficient and profitable ways to mine on the go. But for now, it's essential to be realistic about the limitations and risks involved.